Back in 2013, I was just about to get into my little bit of time of extra service in a unit called Duvdevan in Israel, specializes in counterterrorism in the West Bank. And we were sometimes one of those units that's too busy to almost take soldiers and put them on the trip. I had known what Birthright was about, more or less, right? You go with people you don't know from another country on, a 10-day trip, and you go to all these places in Israel. Now, as an Israeli, I was questioning that a little bit because, I've been to all these places, and I was at a point in my life that I thought that I didn't necessarily want to get to know new people from out of the country, just focus on my military operations. But I remember one of my other teammates approached me and said, Shavit, you have to go on this trip. Like, you have to, it's going to change your life. I thought he was frantic. I thought he was like, what do you want from me, But I'll tell you the truth, it was life-changing. It really was. The trip begins when you enter a bus. You enter that bus and it's full of magic, and people just moved aside and were like, you're sitting here, Americans. Then I realized that my guard can go away. This particular moment where we went to Mount Herzl, which is a very unique place where the Israeli fallen soldiers are buried. And I remember we all walk by and experience and are being silent. And then our tour guide comes and asks us, does anybody want to share anything? I had served in Duvdevan at that point for over 3 years, doing counterterrorism in Yehuda v'Shamron, Judea and Samaria. You see everything very rapidly, right? And on top of that, my mom also lost her only brother in the military. He was a tank commander. So I go out there to share my story. And I remember this immediate click almost of this realization that serving in Tzahal, in the IDF, is just truly fighting for everybody who was there, and not just merely for my unit or my immediate family. Another guy, American guy, just decides to step up, and he starts sharing how he was deployed in the Middle East. And he kneels down and pulls these 3 name tags of his teammates, brother-in-arms, fallen soldiers who died in the Middle East. And Antonio, that's his name, still my very good friend to this day. And he kneels and he goes and buries those name tags in the ground of Mount Herzl, in this special place that was dedicated to bury them. And finally, he lets go of this pain. This is the first time that he felt open enough and vulnerable enough to share his story that he'd been carrying for so many years. This is the epitome of Birthright, right? This is what it's about. This organization and what this trip has done to me, what this experience has done to me, what is mirror to my face of, hey, they are your people. Whether you want it or not, but we all wanted it. We all wanted to become a part of something bigger. Gifting Birthright is really life-transforming, right? It's almost the only resource to be able to provide to Jewish young people like myself to understand each other, to identify with each other. When we have this calling for miluim, we say miluim in Hebrew, but we just, whatever we do, wherever we are, when there's the calling, we show up. We all show up for this greater good, whether it is to share our story, to relive our story, and to serve in constant miluim, through donors, through people who invest in the future of the Jewish people. My life was changed. My friends' lives were changed. And we're here to change more lives. And Birthright Israel does that.